This is Karita Parks with Bowie Television. It is week 3. The Baltimore Ravens, they are coming off a huge win against the Cincinnati Bengals, but now it's time for them to set their sights on the Indianapolis Colts. And the biggest storyline coming from that game is which quarterback will they face. There's Gardner Minshew, who is the backup quarterback, or Anthony Richardson, who went out of the game last week with a concussion. Still no word on who the team will see on Sunday. But with that being said, they are preparing for both quarterbacks. Coach Harbaugh noted that they run the same offense, but there is differences in the way that they play. So they just have to be prepared for either quarterback. Also, we saw Lamar Jackson. He was very efficient in the pocket last week. So we'll see how his chemistry continues to build with the wide receiver core. And quite frankly, as Zay Flowers said, there's a lot that defenders have to worry about between the wide receivers, the running backs, and Lamar Jackson and his legs, which we will more than likely see come into play this Sunday because the Colts defense to front is not going to be easy. Last but not least, there's a lot being made about Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith's chemistry on the field. Both of those guys are leaders on that defense, and they believe the inside linebacker position is one of the key positions on the defense. And those guys really feed off of each other. We've seen them week after week so far put other teams through the ringer, and they continue to have their sights set on doing that as they take on the Colts. So stay tuned to Bowie Television as we bring you more coverage for the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens. So be sure to also follow us on social media. This is Karita Parks.
Great day for football. Really enjoyed being out there with the guys. Guys worked super hard. It was good, tough, fundamental football practice. Getting ready for the Colts. We have great respect for how hard they play, how young they are, new staff, a lot to get ready for. So, what questions do you have?
John, obviously saw the news about our Darius. Just update us on what the injury is and what the status is going forward.
Yeah, the injury is upper body muscle deal. He's being evaluated, I'd say, this week, just to see what the term of that might be. It'll be multiple weeks. We'll see where it goes.
You've had a lot of emotional big wins in the division before. After those games, do you ever have a feeling, or have you ever or plan to right now address the team to maybe avoid that quote unquote let down after a loss or a win like that?
Yeah, I'd never use that word. Not even sure how it applies really in that sense, but I think we have a mutual understanding right now, kind of a vision for how we want to approach wins and losses and everything else in between. We talk about that. It's not just all of a sudden we've got to come up and say, hey, we won a game now what? This is something that we're here together every day, and from the off season through training camp, these are the kind of topics that you have when you're building together as a football team. And so, Patrick Queen, who won the captains this week, he spoke to the guys, and he brought that up in the post-practice little talk he gave there. And they did a great job with it, but it wasn't anything anybody wasn't thinking about. You know, it's 1 week at a time. You got to be 1-0 every week, and that's what we're trying to do. Really 1-0 every day, 1-0 every drill, period, play. That's what we shoot for.
John, is there necessarily an advantage to watching tape on how you approach a team that also played a similar opponent? They played the Houston Texans last week, they went 2-0. So is there any advantage to that kind of a thing, how they compared against them?
Well, I mean, there's some familiarity, but it's really more about how similar they are maybe to teams you've played in the past. They actually have some similarities in Houston defensively, kind of the same family tree defensively, scheme-wise. So that's something that we can use to our advantage in some respect. And it's kind of how it works around the league. I mean, it's kind of the San Francisco, Seattle tree defensively. So you certainly learn to understand how those different kind of groups of coaches operate.
John, speaking of familiarity, obviously Kenny Drake back in the building. What was behind that decision in secondly? Is there any injury issue or concern with maybe Justice Hill?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave all that up to the injury report. It's not really to our advantage to talk about any of that stuff right now. So we're happy to have Kenyon back, excited about him right now, and everything plays out the way it plays out.
What does he bring for, other than familiarity?
Oh yeah, I mean, he's talented. I mean, you've seen him. He was in camp in preseason there. He's fast. He's an athletic guy. Catches balls out of the backfield. Probably a real good fit in this offense. It's funny. I was watching the Bengals tape last week again from last year, as we were kind of preparing, and he was on the tape, and he had good games in those 2 games he played. And I was thinking, man, Kenny Drake really fit in those games. It's kind of like that. And then next thing you know, here he is. I mentioned that to him this morning when he came in. So.
You guys haven't allowed a first down in the first quarter yet. How encouraged are you by the starts the defense has gotten off to?
Yeah, very encouraged. Very encouraged by the fast starts. That's something that we work on every day. We have a fast start period in practice every day. We want it to be good. I feel like the guys are just locked in. But every game's different. Sometimes you start, sometimes you finish. I think we're trying, just to take it one series at a time and do the best we can.
John, with guys like McCurry and Geno Stone, who for multiple years in a row don't come in as starters, but then when you have to call on them, they play like starters. Right. Do you see a common trait between those guys who are able to do that? Or
that's a great question, Charles. I mean, I guess you can talk in terms of professionalism and attention to detail and character and intelligence and toughness and all those kind of things probably are the traits for guys to be able to do that. Guys who are ready because they get ready every day. It's not like all of a sudden, I got to get ready to start now. They've been considering themselves a starter every day in practice from day one and preparing as such, and then therefore when their opportunity comes, they're ready. What's the old saying? When preparation meets opportunity, that's the formula for success, right? It's kind of it's a truism, and I think those guys have shown that.
John, you to entertain a sort of a league question, and as a former special teams coach, did you see that play the Patriots ran to block the kick with the sort of sideways motion?
Sure.
And have you ever seen a play like that? You think that could be something for the league to take up?
I haven't seen that. I thought it was a really great play, really well executed. They were able to time up the snap operation perfectly well. It doesn't need to be ruled out because all you have to do is change the tempo of your snap count, so it's more of a surprise play. I think now people that, for that to, if that's something they think a team might do against them, then they'll just kind of change up the timing of the snap count. But what a good idea that was. They got it. It was a great play. I thought it was brilliant.
John, what are your thoughts on the Colts defensive front and their linebackers?
Yeah, that's the number one issue for sure, Mike. I mean, that front is outstanding. The 2 tackles are 2 of the best in the league. Buckner, obviously, pedigree guy, slippery guy, long, plays hard, and all that kind of stuff. And then Stewart, we loved him in the draft. He's just a load in there. He's an explosive, talented guy. 2 defensive ends coming off the edge. One of them, the Michigan guy, Kwity Paye. They play kind of classic to that style. Then inside backers, I mean, you've got 44 is flying all over the field, making plays left and right. And then Leonard, of course, he's 53. We all know about him. He's been good for a really long time. And so, yeah, that's the heart and soul of their defense right there.
John, can you speak to the challenges of preparing for 2 quarterbacks that are pretty different stylistically, whether it be Gardner or Anthony, for the Colts? They know at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely, Pete, something that we got to take into account. I mean, they run the same offense, but they run it differently. And one might lean toward one area, another might lean toward another area more. You've got to play to the strengths of the quarterback, so you've got to defend to the strengths of the quarterback. And we've got to defend to the strengths of both of those guys right now at this point in time. But the offense is still kind of intact the way they run it, so that's what we're looking at.
John.
You know, the guys in our locker room, they pretty much know it's a business. Anytime we're out on the field, and we don't take any opponent light. You know, this is the NFL, and every team is good. Any given Sunday.
Last time you played the Colts, it was one of the more epic games of your career and really in franchise history. Do you think back as you look and see film of those guys? Does that bring you back to that night at all?
No, that night pretty much was that night. You know, whatever happened that night is with that night. But you know, focus on what's gonna happen Sunday. You know, just trying to come out with a victory.
Lamar, there was so much excitement in the offseason. Odell signing and Zay being drafted, you signing your extension. Do you feel like in all that the Aguilar signing maybe flew under the radar a little bit?
Well, I like to keep it under the radar. You know, he had a pretty good game. I don't want any hype going his way. You know, just keep it under the radar, like you said, and keep doing what he's doing.
But he seems like he's just been terrific pretty much from the day he showed up, right?
Absolutely, he has. You know, we've been connecting here on the field, on camp. I say pretty much the whole all season, and it showed. You know, this past Sunday.
Lamar, Anthony Richardson called himself a combination of you, a blend of you and Cam Newton when he was put out. Well, what's it like to hear guys comparing themselves to you? And did you see him at all in college? What are your thoughts on his game?
You want me to be honest, right? That made me feel old. I'm only 26. Like he comparing me, himself, and Cam. Man, I'm like, dang, comparing yourself to me. I'm still, young, but I appreciate stuff like that. And I did see him a couple times in college. He played phenomenal. And as his first 2 games, he has to.
Lamar, can you just describe the connection you've had with Zay so far? Like he mentioned that deep ball that you guys had the other day, but he came back to you, told you, I got you, trust me, we got this play. Can you just maybe expand on what that relationship in terms of communication has been like with you two?
I believe it's been building very well since he said, our chemistry was like 60%, something like that. I wonder what it is right now. He's been catching the ball phenomenal, making guys miss, running great routes, and just doing what they do. We just need to keep it that way.
Not to compare him to other rookies you play with, but what is he? How does he stand out in that way for a rookie?
He's his own man. He's going out there. He's willing to learn. He want to be the best. Each and every play he's out there. Zay's just a household name. He's building for himself right now. He just needs to just keep staying that way, keep staying locked in and focused.
Lamar, the offense looked a lot more in rhythm this past Sunday, despite missing a lot of key guys on that side of the ball. What did you notice was kind of the difference between week 1 and 2?
Just in week 2. My second game, I'm just playing alongside each other, and just building chemistry, within the game.
Lamar, you have the second highest completion percentage in the NFL right now through the first 2 games. Just what things do you attribute that to? Why do you feel like you're completing so many passes?
Just building chemistry, I guess. That's the biggest thing, just getting the ball out my hand, getting into my guys catching the ball, getting yards, and protecting me from bad plays or anything like that. And I'm trying to protect them as well. So we just doing what we should do. And that's why the percentage is high.
How exciting to have one pressure in a game. To think when you look back and watch film, to have that kind of ability in the pocket and be able to stand there and go ahead and make your reads, make your decisions. How much easier was that for you to then operate the offense?
Terrific. That's any quarterback's dream. Hopefully we just keep it going throughout the whole season.
I think you've got.
Speaking of building chemistry, you worked with a new center in Sam Mustipher. What's it been like working with him and building chemistry? And what's impressed you about Mustipher's game?
Sam played lights out. I don't know. Well, the difference between him and Tyler's the name. I say, but he played great. Just stepping in last second. Just a week prior, we just had our starting center, and we really didn't have no chemistry about camp or anything like that. But for him to step in and know, protections, knowing when to flip certain things, certain protections, it was wonderful.
Mark, I think your second half this. Granted, it's only 2 games, but I think you've completed 90% of your passes in the second half of the 2 games so far. What do you attribute that to? Is it adjustments and things you're seeing as the game progresses? Is it just progression of your comfort in the offense? What is it?
I'll say a little bit of everything. Just being comfortable and being in the pocket. Like I said earlier, just getting the ball out, just throwing it to my guys and letting them do the rest.
Lamar, you were among the NFL players when Nick Chubb went down. You tweeted out, prayers for him. Were you watching that, and what kind of inspired you to send out that tweet?
Yeah, no, actually, I seen it on social media. I was just getting on Twitter, I guess. Well, it was Twitter. And when I seen the hit, it was like a horrific hit. Like no one like seeing, that type of injury from any guy, and just prayers to him because he's a wonderful player, on that field.
When McCurry steps in for Ronnie, protecting your blind side, is it just total trust at this point after all the years?
Oh, absolutely. Pat has been great at center, guard for us, and he just showed it this past Sunday at tackle as well. He's a guy that can do it all. I'll say that.
There's one more, please.
Lamar, obviously everything this offseason worked out for you and the Ravens, but there was a point in time where people were wondering if a team like the Colts might, aggressively make a move for you. Is there, knowing the kind of quarterback that you are you ever surprised when you think back on teams, not seemingly going so hard after you? And then do you have a list in your mind of teams that, you face on Sunday, like, hey, I'm going to show you what you're missing?
I'm grateful for being here. We got our contract situation situated, and I'm focused on doing what's best for us, trying to win. I don't care about other teams.
Thank you, Lamar. Last week, and he said you were one of the people that talked to the team without sharing exactly what we said. What's the tone of the team there, trying to avoid what we like to call a letdown, and your role in doing that?
I think anytime you want to accomplish a goal as a team, you can't get complacent, and that was just really the message. Just be your biggest critic. Don't get complacent. The things that you're good at, be great at. The things that you need to work on, improve on, and just strive for excellence.
As delivering that kind of message and being that sort of leader, is that something that you've done previously? Is that kind of new this year? How would you describe your role as a leader on this team?
I think just being more vocal and just living by what I preach. I think that's the biggest thing. Is just bringing it every day, doing my job to the best of my ability, and trying to bring my teammates with me.
Do you think Mike has figured out ways to use you and Roquan as inside linebackers just more creatively or differently than other teams in the NFL? And do you feel comparatively the other guys in your position more empowered?
Yeah, I think Mike, he tried to do a little bit of both. He tried to be creative, but at the same time be a little traditional at the same time. I think that's the perfect mix for us. Just letting us go out there and play ball. So whatever Mike called, we're gonna roll with, and we got the two best linebackers in the league, so we're gonna make plays and just make everybody look good, make ourselves look good.
Do you feel like you guys are changing the perception of what a premier position is, the way you and Roquan are playing it inside?
I think anytime you want a good defense, you gotta have good linebackers. That's what we got here. That's what we trying to showcase is us being the best linebackers and showing that the defense revolves around the linebacker. And I think that's just come with being the type of person you want to be and trying to be great. Like I said, the message I said earlier, just don't be complacent. Strive for greatness and just keep improving.
I know you're obviously a little bit biased, but why do you feel like a great defense is built around inside linebackers?
I think if you can't stop the run, you can't stop the pass in the middle of the field. You got those guys that can fly around and just, strike a little fear in people's hearts and just, kind of grow up to stop people. So I feel like that's what we bring to the defense.
On those lines, what strides have you made, particularly in things like pass coverage?
I think the biggest thing is just understanding route concepts, being patient, and just knowing my skill set and using my skill set. It's just an all-around improvement of everything. Honestly, I couldn't say one particular thing. It's just every single thing about my game I think I improved on and trying to continue to improve on.
Is it more recognition or communication, both? Or?
Definitely both. I think without communication, you can't recognize what's coming. So I think it's definitely both.
So did you have similar responsibilities at LSU? Cover,
yeah, it was kind of the same but kind of different at the same time. I think college you have less responsibilities and with less responsibilities, less communication. So I think it's just you go to another level, a higher level, higher execution, higher communication, higher responsibilities that come with that.
What do you think is the biggest key to the fast starts you guys have had defensively? They've a lot of first down here in the first quarter.
I think we're just starting fast, and communicating, and playing fast, trusting each other, and just playing football. I think that's what we come out here and do every day at practice. We did it all throughout camp. All the guys are on the same page. We're all got great chemistry right now. Just everybody loves each other. Everybody playing for each other right now.
Patrick, Geno Stone is kind of one of your neighbors in the locker room. I mean, the way he's able to come in, for Marcus the last 2 years and just seem totally prepared from the minute he has to take the job. Is that something you kind of admire?
Yeah, Geno's a baller. Geno always been like that since the day he came in. Just seeing him get this opportunity and taking full advantage of and making plays, it's heartwarming. I think Geno just works so hard and he wants to be so great. And you can tell how he prepares special teams when he comes on defense and just every day in practice.
Patrick, what do you see as the greatest challenges for this week going against Colts?
I think the greatest challenge is just being able to communicate fast. I know they go up tempo a little bit, and the focus point for us is just being able to communicate when things are going fast. We tend to see us, have a little trouble here and there with that. That's been all throughout camp, so we're just still polishing that stuff up, still getting better at that, still trying to execute those things.
They're going through a stretch where there's it feels like injuries keep popping up every week. As a player, do you kind of put blinders on, or is it something that you do as a team kind of recognize that you have to have a lot of guys stepping up here?
I think that's throughout life, playing the sport. People always get hurt. And it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, can't let it bother you. You got a job to do. We all got a job to do. We all got goals that we want to reach, and if any of us flinch or anything, we can't reach those goals. So I think the best thing for us is just to stay focused on the task at hand.
Patrick, I know
One more, please.
Roquan wears the dot, but there looks to be a lot of pre-snap communication in the middle of the field. Is there shared pre-snap duties, or are those just regular communications, that we would see on a later Sunday?
Zay, it looks like you're having as much fun as a rookie can have out there playing. Is it been what you thought it would be through a couple weeks of your career now?
Absolutely. I got vets around me. I got Lamar, I got Mark. I got everybody around me making me comfortable. So it's making my job easier to execute and be as detailed as possible.
Zay, I know it's only been 2 games, but how comfortable are you feeling when we're hearing that you're seeing things early and you're telling Lamar that type of look will be there later? How comfortable are you with the things you're seeing and also your assignments based off what you're looking at?
I'm super comfortable because Coach Lewis and Coach Doug, they do a great job of when we're in the meeting room making sure everything detailed. And when we're on the field, me and Lamar see a look, or anybody at receiver see a look, we go back and tell him, and he'll come back and hit you on it if you see the same look.
Zay, you spent that time in South Florida with Lamar. Do you think that's contributed to the early chemistry you all are developing?
Yeah, I think it did, because it was me, and Nelly out there, and we knew we was going to be 3 receivers that was going to be playing a lot, and we had to get out there, get some work together, and we knew we had to do it fast, because if we wanted to have the season we want to have, we had to do it.
Speaking of Nelly, you probably had the best view in the house of the touchdown catch, and you seem to really enjoy that. What did you particularly enjoy about that play?
I just enjoy seeing our guys score. I just enjoy anybody on the field making a play. Even if it's defense, you'll probably see me jumping around on the sideline. Like after Geno play, I was jumping around, running around. So I'm just excited for all my guys.
Did you say anything to that cornerback?
He just said he locked me up, and I was like, look, touchdown.
He saw you. He got a point, the ball was still in the air.
So you mentioned the communication with Lamar. Was there an instance of that, you maybe tell him about the post that you were before earlier, and then he came back to you for that long play?
Yeah, we both knew, Lamar seen it a little later, and I got open, and by the time I turned, he was already off it, but he seen me down the field, and he was just like, calm down, I'm going to come back to you.
Did you know that it was going to be called later?
Oh, yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be called again.
What's it mean to you, Zay? I mean, week 1 you made a lot of plays in space, short throws, to then, you could have had 3 long balls, to kind of show your deep play potential. What do you think that opens up for the rest of your game?
I just feel like it opened everything up for me, because if you feel like I'm going to run long, I can stop. I can stop at any route and come back, so it'll make defenders harder to guard me.
Zay, to get to this point, obviously, you got to be supremely confident in your ability, but to translate that confidence into the numbers you've put up through only 2 weeks, but do you feel some sort of not validation, but comfort that, okay, you've got to this point and you're making it happen already?
I'll say I feel more comfortable each week, just with the game plan and the speed of the game, and just getting smarter each week, and just being out there with vet guys. Like I said, they teaching me. Nelly will teach me something about, like, because he's a master at running like option routes and over routes, so he'll teach me something about that. Odell will teach me something about the deep ball. So I'm just taking it all in and just trying to use it.
Zay, it's still early, but what do you make of some of the looks you've been given, especially compared to what you were saying maybe your last year at Boston College? Now you're here and there, you know, other guys that defenses have to focus on. What are you seeing in the way teams are trying to guard you right now?
I would say you got a lot to worry about, honestly. You got to worry about Mark, you got to worry about the run game, you got to worry about Lamar, and then all the other receivers. So I don't even know how to tell you. I'm just going out there and playing my game, honestly.
Can you describe how much fun you're having playing in the games? It just seems like you're laughing all the time and having fun.
No, it's easy to have fun when you got guys like that around you, and everybody can make plays. So that just make me enjoy the game a little bit more.
What is it about the game that is just so fun for you?
I don't know. I just get excited to play, make plays, see somebody else make plays, and I just want to win.
Zay, you talked about your comfort in the offense and with Lamar. I'm just curious, what's it like catching passes from him from just like a pure technical standpoint for you?
Lamar got every throwing motion. Like, he could give it to you side on, he give it to you straight down the field, and he could put it anywhere you need it. So just catch it from him, that's just going to be on you fast too. So it's going to be right in your face. So you got to be ready.
And I think he's got second highest completion percentage right now in the NFL. You're a recipient of a lot of those passes. How would you describe, I guess, the chemistry that you guys have built in that regard in terms of route running and timing and catching and things?
Like I said, a lot of it was built over the summer.
Sure.
We was just running through the route tree, trying to get everything on time, and just trying to build chemistry and trying to do what we're doing out on the field right now.
All right, Zay, thank you.